What's been nice as well for myself is that it's been very challenging in the sense that it's stretched me as an actor and taught me a lot.
Now you're not as troubled as I am. You should be.
If my life were important,
Lee became a huge star as Joseph, taking the role from television to the West End to Wembley.
Because of the role of Joseph, it's not a very hard sing, it's not a very hard act, so actually that was a much more open competition, I think. I think lots of the boys could have done it.
I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colours anymore, I want them to turn black.
I think Lee doing Painted Black was that was the moment when everyone kind of went, oh wow, there's more to this boy than we knew.
I want to see you painted black, black as night, black as coal.
That was the moment that I think everybody thought, oh, hang on, he's not ordinary here.
I want to see you painted black.
You could just play Joseph as a kind of pretty boy, and there have been a load of actors who, frankly, fall into that category. But what Lee brought was something infinitely more interesting, infinitely more virile.
What is extraordinary about this boy is the way he interprets a lyric. He takes songs and he makes them his own.
And he's
fantastic.
Sexy.
All right.
This quality helped Lee win the competition, but from that moment on, his life became public property. Luckily, one of the judges was on hand to help.
I don't want you to be no slave.
I gave him my number when the show ended, as I did with all the other boys, and I said, if you need any guidance or help when it comes to the press and how to deal with it, just call me, because I've had years of experience and I know it can be really tough.
Exclusive in the sun.
And I remember I was in New York and Lee called me, and he was really grateful of everything that he'd achieved, but he said it's becoming difficult. You know, he was being followed home, he was having to sign autographs at stage door sometimes for 200-300 people, and it was exhausting. And so sometimes it can be a bit isolating as well. So we became very much friends after the show because of that reason. There was this sort of bond there.
That bond eventually grew into a relationship and then marriage.
I just wanna make love to you.
I never imagined finding my wife on a TV show. It's kind of bizarre, isn't it?
What Mr. Potter saw was... Let us just say he saw a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Lee's new play has been touring to packed houses around the country.
Lee's got these wonderful, wonderful fans. They call themselves Loopies. Lee Mead Loopies. And they follow him everywhere. And they'll be at Sheffield, and they'll be at Manchester, and they'll be at Birmingham. So Lee has definitely brought in a new audience. Now, a large percentage of these are not regular theatre goers.
For we have been promised.
I've never seen anything in a theatre ever like Lee's first appearance in the first preview of Joseph. It was like the Beatles at Shea Stadium. They went wild for this boy.
The thing about theatre is that it's for everyone. It's about everybody feeling that they got access to it.
I liked musicals, but I wasn't mad about them, you know what I mean? And now I've seen every musical in town. There isn't a musical I haven't seen. I'm going to Wood Green tomorrow to see an amateur production of Hair.
I've got a young nieces and nephews who now want to go and see West End shows. They don't want to watch computer games. They want to see a live West End show.
And that's down to Andrew, because he's so passionate about musical theatre, and in that way where he can't understand why anyone else wouldn't be.
This new audience from television was living proof that the viewers would also vote with their feet. But not everyone in the theatre world has been impressed.
I have a bit of a complaint about the BBC. I felt that that was essentially a 13-week promotion for a musical, And I felt that, you know, where's our 13-week program? When are they going to do one about a play?
The reason it doesn't happen is that it just doesn't make good TV. I mean, can you imagine watching 10 different actors one week do To Be or Not to Be from Hamlet, the next week, you know, doing something from, say, a John Osborne play or a Pinter play? It just doesn't work in very short bursts.
But what no one could have foreseen at the time was the effect the programme had on forms of theatre other than musicals.
We did a survey through Maury which showed that 23% of the people who, about 4,500 people were interviewed in this, said that who had watched the reality TV shows said it would make them consider going to another form of theatre again, whether it was dance or a play.
We began to see West End audiences increasing. And I started getting letters from people saying, oh, well, we like The Sound of Music, we like your production of Joseph, but do you know what? We have put our name, a lot of kids said this, down for the National Theatre. And we went to go and see something like Warhorse. And by the way, Warhorse is a lot better. And I think that something happened that was self-fueling, not about just musicals. I think it's about theatre in general.
We're in the midst of a recession now. You think people wouldn't be finding the money to go to the theatre, but they are. You know, ticket sales are up year on year.
But the impact of the programme doesn't stop at theatre. It has also affected the music industry by attracting new talent such as Second Chance Maria, Siobhan Dillon.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Here we go.
Siobhan is recording her first album with Elliot Kennedy, a world-renowned producer who has worked with such artists as Bryan Adams, Celine Dion and Take That.
Can I have my vocal up just a little bit? Sorry.
Yeah.
Her journey from the Maria programme to the recording studio
One place left.
begins at the moment she was unceremoniously booted off the show when she was suffering from a cold.
Siobhan, I'm sorry. You're going home.
I can't put up with people just having a bad time, you know what I mean? It's about consistency and showing your best and all that sort of thing. And if you got one girl that's like ill for like 7 days running and moaning about it, just give her the boot, do you know what I mean? I would if I was a director.
It was horrible. It was really horrible, and it upsets me that I didn't try harder, but I did feel like I'd lost at that point. It was really hard to deal with.
But she went on to fight another day when one of the 10 finalists decided to pull out.
As Maria herself once said, when God closes a door, he opens a window. And Emily's departure has given someone else a second chance. Siobhan is our second chance Maria.
The second chance Maria tag, that never left me. I was always not supposed to be there, I guess, and I couldn't really shake that, unfortunately.
Right, well, don't worry, because I know for a fact, Siobhan, that you do have one fan on the panel.
Physically most beautiful person that's come in the room. Your beauty is one of much serenity. I could just imagine you as a beautiful princess. Yeah. She is stunningly beautiful. She's a stunningly beautiful girl.
I felt bad because I'd misjudged her. I just thought, oh, you're here because you look like a model. And then opened her mouth and then again my voice. It was beautiful.
And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score.
The public also recognised that Siobhan could sing like an angel.
And I love you,
and supported her all the way into the final 3.
like never before.
For one of you, your dream of becoming Maria is about to end.
For the first time in the entire show, there was actually a moment when I thought, oh wow, I could actually win this. It suddenly became serious. And I thought, if this is a case that I get this, I could absolutely flop and then everyone would just hate me.
In 3rd place, and sadly, out of the competition, is...
And I was like, please don't be me. I was just petrified. I was so scared.
Siobhan.
In losing, she got what she'd wished for.
I love you.